Hey everybody, it's Brandon, and I just bought my very first CharaChorder. I don't really even know how to say the name of this thing. I just bought my very first CharaChorder One device that I am super excited about, so much so that I've started this entire channel to tell you all about how my journey is going with the CharaChorder One. We're gonna have to change the name of this thing. So with that, you're probably like me. You've come to this channel because you've got a few questions. When I was researching making my purchase just 2 days ago, I had some questions such as, number one, how is this device really going to help me? How is it going to make me more efficient and be able to type quicker? And number two, can I do it? I think that is my biggest fear, is can I actually learn to type on the CharaChorder One? Now, the way that I came about finding the CharaChorder was from social media. So it makes me think a lot of you are going to search on YouTube to see, how do you use this device? So I was just scrolling through TikTok and I came across this contraption promising to type 200, 300 words per minute, and I was fascinated by it. Now, as long as I can remember, I've always been able to type 70 to 100 words per minute. I went into the 6th grade, my very first keyboarding class, already typing 70 words per minute. And I don't actually have memories of learning how to type. I just, was born knowing how to type, I guess. And I'm really good at mobile phones. So I think, or I've convinced myself, that I can learn a different way of typing, hopefully fairly easily, or at least that's my current thought. So there's a few ways that I see the CharaChorder helping me. The very first one, and this is probably the main one, is I have a primary YouTube channel. So this is kind of my secondary account that I'm making more for fun, just to show you all what my experience is. But I have a primary channel that's doing pretty well. I'm getting a lot of comments, a lot of engagement from my audience, which is fantastic. So if you do get a chance and you're still listening in, make sure you're clicking that like button down below. But I want to be able to respond to all of my comments. Like, I love engaging with the audience. This is why I do these videos, is to be able to talk with all of you. But I don't want to come across as a bot. I don't want to copy and paste. I want all of my responses to be unique, and they feel like, wow, Brandon took the time to respond to my comment. And I'm getting a lot of comments these days, and I can feel myself internalizing I don't want to sit down at the computer because it's going to take me forever to go through all of these comments. And I'm hopeful with the CharaChorder, it is going to have the ability to allow me to, number one, type quicker, but number two, use the chording feature. So chording, if you're not familiar, is where you can hit multiple keys at the same exact time, and you're gonna automatically get a pre-programmed word. Think of like a stenograph that you've seen in courtrooms. It kind of models after that, where you press a few keys at the same time, and you'll get a complete word in just one press of a button, versus it's a 5-character word, that's 5 different presses you have to do. The good thing with me using this for my YouTube channel comments is a lot of my comments, even though they're all unique and distinctive, all have about the same words, the same phrases. There's a lot of repetition in what I'm doing. And so I'm really hopeful that the CharaChorder is going to help me be more productive and more efficient when responding to the comments, to emails, to whatever the direct messages may be, to make sure that I'm fully engaged with my audience. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, there's a few fears that I have with the CharaChorder. The first thing is, am I going to be able to learn it? I have no idea. I think that I can do it, but I know that I'm going to have to put in the time, the energy, and the effort to make that happen. I'm going into this knowing that it's going to take me a while to learn it. So I'm not going to open it up out of the box and know intuitively how to use this device. It's going to take some reprogramming of my mind to make that happen. And I'm worried a few things. Number one, I don't know that my fingers can move in those directions. I feel like I should almost be practicing my finger movement, that it can even go in the directions this device, the CharaChorder, is going to want it to go in. My second fear is that I don't put in the time that it's going to need. So it is the new shiny object right now for me. I saw it online, was absolutely fascinated by it, and I bought it. 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, is it still going to be that bright and shiny object? And is the advantages of using the CharaChorder going to outweigh what could be a steep learning curve to enable me to be able to use this device? And am I going to stick with it for those, weeks and months that it's going to take to learn it? Or is it going to fall to the wayside and I'll just be like, I don't have time for this. I'm going back to my normal keyboard. Luckily, to help me learn, there is a, I don't know if it's proprietary or not, but there is a unique system that the CharaChorder folks have developed called Launchpad, specifically designed for the CharaChorder Lite and the CharaChorder One, for you to be able to learn how to use these devices and how to chord and how to set up your chording library. Now, I'm not sure if this is a good system, if it's a bad system. That's something we'll explore together on this channel. But I'm going to go through and I'll give it a whirl, but I'm also going to see what other resources are out there, and is that the best way to learn how to use this device. Now, there's plenty of other typing tools out there. You all may remember Mavis Beacon from when we were kids. There's some race car game that my nephew keeps getting me to play so I can blow people out of the water, 11-year-olds. But are those the best? The problem that's going to run into it, or that we're going to run into, is the chording. So I want to get really good at chording. And if you press 5 buttons all of at one time on a different platform, it may recognize that as huge errors. Even though the word may correct itself, it may see it as an error because you didn't put them in the proper order. So building a chording library is one of the things I'm going to have to figure out how to do. And I'm going to take you all on that journey with me on how do I build out my personal chording library. Now, this is stored on the website and is pushed to the CharaChorder as part of a firmware update, so it stays with the actual device regardless of the computer that you're hooking it up to, but it's up to you to build that. And somehow they've never developed a standardized chording system. You would think with as many people that are chording that they would have a standard or something that most people have found as the best way to do something, but that really doesn't exist. From what I can tell so far, they do have like an online community that will help you with building out this chording library, and you can even import in other people's chording libraries to go ahead and get started. So I'll have to see if there are good libraries out there that I'm saying, you know what, this will make a really solid start for me, or do I just want to start it myself from scratch on things that I know that I'm going to be able to remember. So I hope that this video has helped confirm that you're asking the right questions. I too have the same exact questions on how is this CharaChorder One device gonna work, and am I gonna be able to do it? I'm gonna take you all on the journey with me as I go through, number one, the next video is gonna be the unboxing of the CharaChorder One, and then how do I actually figure it out? How do I put all these different pieces together, and how difficult or how easy is it to learn?